morning, thanks for joining us. Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship live stream action coming to you from the stunning South Canterbury region here in New Zealand, round 2 of our 2024 championship. Lee Bartel's voice of rallying. Nice to have you with us, mate. Cracking day. How about the backdrop, the snow-capped Southern Alps, and some stunning roads to test our drivers across the day?
Oh, absolutely. It's always a favourite to come to the South Canterbury Hydraulics South Canterbury Rally. As you say, a little bit of snow on the Alps over there, quite a bit to be fair, but quite a balmy sort of morning, all things considered. Yeah,
it was certainly forecast to be quite chilly. Look, it's brisk, but it's not freezing. I don't think there's going to be too much of a concern with ice on the roads. Maybe in the forestry stage, which is stage 3. We are the opening special stage of the rally, McKinnon Road. Stage is live, so Hayden Penn on stage as he makes his return at Otago with that clash with the European events. So he's got some ground to make up.
He definitely does. He's starting on zero. Jack Hawkeswood currently leading the championship, 39 points. Just one ahead of Robbie Stokes and then Ben Hunt a further 2 points back. So 3 points covering those top 3. Hayden will be out to absolutely maximise what he can.
Yeah, new territory for him, isn't it? Because we've seen him miss rounds before in the championship, but he's already built up a healthy lead in the points standings before he's missed rounds. This is the first time that it's the other way around. The pressure is on him. He cannot afford a DNF anywhere here. He cannot afford to be dropping points if he's to try and win an 8th title.
Correct. And obviously there's a lot to learn. He's back in the AP4 car. We haven't seen him in that for a season and a bit. And, of course, his first time on the MRF control tyre as well.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an advantage for the other contenders who obviously have Rally Otago, a couple of days of rallying down there under their belts. And we saw Ben Hunt maybe struggle a little bit by his high standards on the opening day. By the time Sunday rolled round, Ben was back to his best form, and we had a magnificent three-way battle between Jack Hawkeswood, who won his maiden NZRC event, and Robbie Stokes. Terrific breakthrough result for Robbie as well to finish second at Otago. And it really sets it up, those 3 contenders. If one or two of them can bank solid haul of points, be on the podium through these one-day rounds, it gives them a real shot of closing out a championship win while Hayden's sitting back not able to do anything.
Yes, yeah, exactly right. Ben has done a fair bit of work. He was right on the pace on day 2. Certainly struggled on day 1 at Otago with the shorter gearing of the R5 car. He has got the longer gear set, so with the R5 they're homologated with two gear sets, same as the AP4 to be fair.
I can hear Hayden on stage potentially.
Yeah, shouldn't be too far away now. So the record through the stage, 8 minutes 26.6, and here he is. Jared Hudson alongside.
Yep, Hyundai New Zealand AP4 20.
The flame out. Works his way through probably the tightest and twistiest section of the rally. Flat out up over the crest, just past us. And heavy under brakes and into the junction. So the eagle eye makes sure note that this is a different junction to where we were on Special Stage 1 last year, where Ari Pettigrew fired through the fence. Unfortunately, the Volt insurance policy precluded us from going back there, so they really need to go and have a good chat to the team at Cream Insurance.
Great to have our partners on board for the 2024 season. You see them on screen there, Cream Insurance. Brian Green Property Group, of course, the naming right partners. MRF, Control Tyre, Amiga Rental Cars. Did enjoy the seat warmers Amiga rental car this morning on the way to the opening special stage.
They were quite the feature, weren't they?
Certainly were.
So we shouldn't be too far away from car number 2, which would be Ben Hunt, Tony Ralston, the Skoda.
New livery on Skoda this weekend. We obviously saw that tribute livery to Brooklyn and Tyson down at Otago, but the standard livery we're going to see across the season for Ben. He's on the time, so we're about 2/3, 3/4 of the way through the stage. Too long before we see Hayden post the time as Ben Hunt beautifully presented Skoda Fabia Rally 2 About to burst onto our screens.
Yep. So it's going to be an interesting first loop of stages. We have 2 traditional public road stages, then we get into the forestry. And every year there's one forestry stage in this rally, and it can really change the course of the rally. As we see Ben Hunton, that's looking very, very nice into there.
The green, of course, this year on the Skoda. Ben will be one to watch, I think, in that forestry stage. We've talked a little bit about... the top end has been runs just a little bit wide.
Just a little slight hesitation over the pressure. Looks like he's on a bit of a mission there. That's another thing that these guys are going to have to be aware of early, the Sunstrike.
Yeah, Sunstrike mixed with a little bit of dust potentially too. Not much of a breeze, in fact, a very still morning, so not a lot of breeze to move that dust. But yeah, that forestry stage, I think, it is the one that is, we'll throw the cat amongst the pigeons. There's a little bit of a border difference between that and all the other stages you see today. Ben, it'll suit the Skoda, the Rally 2 car. It'll suit his driving style. We know he likes forestry stages, having run up the Nelson region with
maybe make some
forestry rallies there.
Yep.
So it should be Jack Hawkswood. Maiden NZRC win. Emotional victory for Jack Hawkswood and for his whole Course Motorsport crew. And Andrew on hand, of course, national champion. First ever.
We might have a battle on our hands here. Just getting the first split through, and Ben Hunt's only 1.3 seconds down on Hayden Padden to the 8 kilometre split. To Hayden's time of 8:37.9. That is the benchmark. But Ben certainly, he looked like he was absolutely on a mission.
So it looks like Ben definitely ahead of Jack at that first split. It'd be really interesting to see how both Hawkswood and Stokes back up their Otago performances. Both of them in many ways breakthrough results. Monkey off the back for both of them. You know, they'd had such challenging last 18 months or so, both of them, and terrific to see them. Good result as we see Jack in the Course Motorsport.
So we have seen the first 4 cars on 2-minute gaps. So I'm not sure the reasoning behind it. 9.1 on. Note of the 3-cylinder to out of Yarras. Going back to the strategy around the morning, certainly the super soft tyre is the tyre you want in that forestry stage. But that's the 3rd one in the loop. You've got to make them live through 2 public road stages. And there was a lot of indecision amongst the teams last night talking to them as to which was going to be the better option.
I mean, is that where the contenders that were at Otago have a little bit of an advantage? They've just got a little bit more of a feel for it than Hayden, who's probably finding his way a wee bit with his tyres this morning.
Yeah. Look, Hayden's had a test or two. Admittedly, I think that was in the R5 car, not the AP4. So I'm not sure how much running. I mean, they run a very, very slick and professional operation. So I'm sure that they haven't come in underprepared.
So next up should be Robbie Stokes, the Stokes Motorsport Ford Fiesta AP4 car. This was some demons here for Robbie. This was where his event effectively started and finished last year. Stage.
And well, he's on the money too. 1.4 seconds down on Padden at the 8.3 kilometre split.
Some encouraging signs early. Here is the Stokes Motorsport Fiesta. Nice and tidy.
Certainly a big second half of the stage for Hayden Padden. 7.5 seconds faster than Ben Hunt.
Just warming to task.
Hesitation from Robbie up over the crest there.
Great to see the bounce back in the stint here. Stokes is wasn't probably enjoying this rallying as much as he otherwise would. months, but great result for that team. Double result too when you think of brother Jack, we'll see coming up.
Yeah, that was just what the team needed.
All the efforts that they put in, see them get a little bit of reward finally. Speaking of that, Emma Gilmore, Citroen C3, the Vantage New Zealand Citroen C3 car on the roads. Her Otago, her home event, really over before it started with that incident. I think it was on Special Stage 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. So unfortunate start for Emma.
Said that she still managed to bank some valuable points by nursing it to the end.
Yes. Well, that's the important thing on those 2-day rounds. There's so many points to play for, and this is where Hayden has got a bigger task against him than we've seen before.
Of course, Katrina Renshaw sitting alongside Emma Gilmore. That new partnership this year, rally under their belts.
It's great to see people tuning in from all over the show. Steve Corrine from Belgium, various different people all over the country as well as across the world. So I hope you're enjoying these pictures from the stunning South Canterbury region. So Jack Hawkeswood through 8:59.6, so 21.7 seconds down on Paddon, 14 down on Ben Hunt. So for him, still a lot of learning to do. This is only a third rally in the Citroen.
2021, the last time she was here, and didn't get too far into it. You have to go back all the way to 2018, the first time that Rally South Canterbury was back on the National Championship calendar to have completed the event.
Just not seeing a split for Emma yet, so those times as they fly through the atmosphere, all part of the rally safe system.
7 special stages on the gravel around South Canterbury region, north and inland from Timaru, before we head back to a final 8th and last special stage of the day, a blast around Levels Raceway, which should be always a fun experience. We'll be on that live stream from the finish.
It's just here. Emma was 11.1 seconds down, so just off Jack Hawkeswood's pace. Zeal Jones with a split through 9.1 seconds off Paddon's pace, so 1.2 up on Hawkeswood, 2 up on Gilmore. Robbie Stokes through second fastest, 8:41.2.
The live results you can see on screen.
Only 3.3 seconds off.
Vantage Stokes in that three-way battle. Stokes, Hunt, Hawkeswood. Nothing in it really in Otago. So we wait for the Smith & Sons Skoda Fabia 5. It's a two-wheel drive R5 at Otago for large parts.
Yeah, it was certainly a frustrating start for Zeal. It wasn't quite what they wanted. But a very mature drive too. He understood the importance of banking the points. Sorry, of course, the defending Rally Challenge champion.
Certainly a factor. This does look to be clearing, certainly here at least anyway. 2 minute marks, certainly.
Yes, and we will not have any more 2 minute gaps, so the action will start coming thick and fast now with the first of our non-championship cars, which is Mike Tall.
He's always been a good peddler. It's part of the country. Some of these stunning shots see of the Volt TV crew. Classic New Zealand farmland, isn't it? South Canterbury region.
It's the beautiful rolling hills that give you those nice cresty roads, big, wide, fast.
Probably the tightest part of it. Yes. Stage right here as we see Mike Tall come into shot.
Little Mitzi Mirage with the Evo running gear transplanted in. Looks like it's on the MRF tyre as well. Quite possibly so. Start from Mike, but he hasn't done a heap of rallying of late. He's 28.2 seconds off Patton's pace, so Andrew Graves is catching him a little bit. He was 13.5 seconds quicker to the first split, 12.5 seconds quicker to the first split, and here he is now.
One of the stars of the opening event at Otago, Andrew Graves.
That was the MRF driver of the rally. So he's currently leading not only the Group A Challenge, but the Rally Challenge outright. Very smooth, Andrew Graves. Son Hayden calling the notes, so very cool to see the son as nothing else there. And yeah, look at that Sunstrike now, it's just coming up over the hills.
That's becoming to be effective too, I would say, with the 1 minute intervals, just lingering around enough to put you off in spots. Stewie Reid would be next. Mitsubishi Mirage AP4. Mirage. Haggerty sitting alongside. Been under the weather the last few days, Bella. Stewie Reid.
He was quite fortunate unfortunate at Otago. They had a power steering fire, but quite fortunate right by the refuel zone where obviously there's a lot of fire protection in place, so they were able to extinguish that car before serious damage was done. It's the car that we've seen the likes of Brian Green and Matt Summerfield.
Just getting to grips a little bit with the new generation cars too. Spoke to him last night. He's familiar with all-wheel drive cars, did a lot of it rallying in Australia around the turn of the last millennium.
Yes, but they're very
older style cars and
production based.
Are you recording in the track?
And obviously quite a difference. You know, the AP4 cars a lot more nimble. A lot of the feedback is they stop a lot faster. The ability to transfer the weight over the front wheels and just stop on a dime. So just waiting to see a split from Andy Martin.
Carbon Works Forestry Volkswagen Polo 2 car.
It's something of a second home event for him. It's getting into a bit of business down in Timaru here. As you can see, the fort on the side of the car. So fantastic accommodation in the bunker. I think a few people will be convening later on this evening for a refreshing ale or two. Beautifully presented car, isn't it, too? That Polo always looking immaculate.
He was another that struggled through Otago, was very much under the weather at Otago. It was a real battle for him. See him back firing on all cylinders this morning. Rocky Hudson sitting alongside him, veteran co-driver.
So we are hearing there was a brief hazard for him, so potentially maybe a spin or something.
Pierre's lost a bit of time as we see Mark McMillan, Subaru Impreza. Just said, pretty impressive Otago. Perhaps didn't quite get the result that he might have been on for.
Yeah, a couple of
penalties.
Yeah, a couple of violations of the speed zones that they hadn't placed down there, just for various reasons. Yeah, look at that Sunstrike there, just horrific.
What a battle we've got in the Rally Challenge four-wheel drive class in particular. Look at some Graves, we've seen McMillan now, Carter Strand, Caleb McDonald, Dave Seavers back into that field. We know that he is a very fast peddler.
Yes, he'll be an interesting one to watch. No doubt about that. Yeah, great.
Carter String.
So he was second at the opening round. It was dominated by the Eastern Southland Car Club. Andrew Graves, Carter String, Caleb McDonald and Mark McMillan, 1, 2, 3 and 4 at Otago. Great to see the southern men and women doing the RE Barton in there.
Yeah.
The one hand up, so that tells us that Sunstrike is a very real thing. The Evo 10, formerly campaigned by the likes of Shannon Chambers and John O'Shapley.
Of course, we're down in the neck of the woods next stop. Next month.
Southern Lights Rally.
Southern Lights Rally. First time for a long, long time down in the deep south. Championship visits in Invercargill. So we see Donald now.
Car with plenty of history in the New Zealand Rally Championship. Originally built by Deborah Kibble, won the Group N Championship in 2001. Martin, way Warwick Redfern, and then Darren Galbraith, who would normally be with us on the live stream, but decided he'd rather go rallying on his home event, so we'll see him a little bit later on. Caleb looking very strong through there. And off into the Sunstrike.
A couple of messages about how cold it actually is. It's not too bad, to be fair. Expecting minuses. I don't think we're near minus temperatures. The sun is out. I suspect by late morning it'll be nice and warm. Lovely clear day. Hardly a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, I reckon it's because my cable's running the full length
Not
of
much of a
the
breeze, as you can see there. No real movement in that long grass.
So Sean Haggerty, and you notice the higher number on the car. He was a late entry, but great to see him out. Shane Reynolds. So good luck trying to understand anything that's going on in that car. Shane, they'll push on hard. Probably one that has a bit of a love-hate relationship with this rally.
Yeah, a massive crash here a few years ago. Last year we considered. Hearing there was a moment for Jack Hawkswood on the stage, briefly triggered an incident as well, so perhaps that could explain all the time lost.
Yeah, it looks like he's slotted into that fourth place, but he'll be wanting to be closer. He's only 0.3 of a second up on Zeal Jones, so the youngster might be smelling blood. To be fair, that's against the comparatively old 23-year-old Jack Hawkswood. He'd still give this commentary team a fairly solid
Head start.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Time's up there, so Zeal Jones 6.8 seconds quicker than Emma Gilmore. So early strike to Zeal. So Eugene Crune, Caledonian visitor.
Yes, and if we think it's a tad chilly here, imagine what these guys think it's like from Caledonia to South Canterbury. A little bit tentative up over the crest there for Eugene, but nice and straight. Had a bit of a disaster of an Otago where they had two turbo failures, but two separate failures of the turbo.
So next up should be Dave Sievers as we welcome Dave to the championship for 2024. Joins this battle royale that we have in the Rally Challenge 4-wheel drive class. Just alongside him. Pushing hard here.
He's a little bit down on a few of the others in the class. Haven't got split tyres McDonald just at the moment, but he looked particularly impressive. But 17.5 seconds down on Andrew Graves to the split.
Speaking of returns to the championship, man that joined us for a brief stint on the live stream commentary from Dunedin, Marcus Van Klink, back not quite at 100% health, but enough to be out there competing.
Yeah, managed to fairly innocuous accident at a music festival and broke his wrist. So still regaining some strength, but what a weapon of a car to take on these big South Canterbury highways.
So it's spitting flames, the RX-8.
Of course, a great time to give a shout out to the Volt TV team. Fantastic pictures on this live stream, as well as, of course, Brian Green Property Group, MRF Tyres, Cream Insurance and Omega Rental Cars.
The first of our NZRC two-wheel drive competitors will be next. Dylan Thompson has completely dominated this category over the last few years.
Yes, we'll have a bit of a challenge on his hands in terms of outright two-wheel drive honours against Marcus.
Oh, they're getting a bit of shape on that corner now. Yeah.
Dylan, some Baden Thompson driving for him.
7 seconds down to the first split. Dean Buist is actually not far off. Dylan Thompson's only a second in it. Look at the way he throws that car at the corner. Rally 4 Fiesta. Actually grabbing a gear where we've seen others lifting off, so full trust in the notes. Sort of carrying plenty of corner speed there. Nicely done by Dylan. So just have a look at a few more of the times. Andrew Graves slotting into 7th, just behind Emma Gilmore. Fastest of the Rally Challenge cars. Then Sean Haggerty. Mark McMillan, 7/10 off Haggerty. 12.6 off Graves for the lead of the Rally Challenge.
Here is Dean Buist.
Man who's been busy fitting MRF tyres as the agent through Palmside, New Zealand.
Truno.
Actually, next Marcus Van Klint car, this one. See a look of concentration there on Dean's face. And the results that this man manages to produce are quite something, particularly because he said Ricky is boring, so he doesn't do it. The pace he gets off just the organiser's supplied notes is pretty impressive.
Next couple of cars will be worth keeping an eye on. Bryn Jones, Jack Stokes, two more of our NZRC two-wheel drive competitors. Bit of a battle on the Sunday. Targo.
Bryn struggling a little bit on times, just under 30 seconds behind Dylan Thompson to the first split, so potentially some sort of issue there. I know the team have actually done a fair bit of work in between events. Not just a couple of cosmetic repairs, but there's a wee issue as they went to put the car on the trailer as well, and necessitated in most of Wednesday night spent under the bonnet of the Fiesta.
Definitely a gap here, isn't there? So 30 seconds we said lost to Dylan Thompson is Jones.
So just having a couple of people that might be struggling to hear you a little bit, Budgie.
Hopefully that's a bit better.
No, now I can hear you.
Oh.
Young Bryn and Sean Lockyer, you can always see Sean's helmet from a mile off. It's about as bright as the rising Timaru sun, but Bryn certainly all looks okay there, so we'll monitor his progress. Not quite sure, and we haven't got a split time for Jack Stokes, so I can't tell you where he's at in comparison, but we'll keep an eye on how far behind him he is.
There's Jack.
And that's pretty close, I think, is the answer to that. So certainly revving the little 1600. This is the R2 Fiesta, so 1600 naturally aspirated. And the Rally 4 cars that we've seen of Thompson and Jones are 1 litre turbocharged.
dust certainly going to be an issue there for Jack as he tries to reel in Bryn Jones.
Next up should be the great man, the Lord, the Saviour, Brian Green. Of course, principal sponsor of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship, has been since 2011. It's a fantastic streak, and we very much appreciate his support. The team at Rallyard have done a great job to get that car looking back to its immaculate best. Unfortunately, there was a reasonable dose of damage done in Otago Rally, but Greenie back behind the wheel. Behind the wheel last week didn't end overly well, and on the racetracks as well. So had a bit of a rough run of it has Greenie. Celebrated his 77th birthday a week ago yesterday. It's great to see him still out doing what he loves, but don't think he'll be loving that Sunstrike.
No, you get the feeling you just like to see him get to the end of the day, just bank a result.
Seeing a split time through for Jack Stokes, and it puts him 8 seconds off Dylan Thompson and some 21 seconds up on Bryn Jones.
Dave Strong, another that ran into some issues at Otago. He'll be looking to make up for some lost championship points.
Yes, the wild Honda Jazz with the supercharged 3.5 litre V6 in the back of it and rear wheel drive. And another one pulling off the RE Barton.
How good are the pictures? You can see that.
So clear.
Drivers putting up their hands to hide their eyes from the sun.
You can almost see them changing their minds.
Absolutely.
That's certainly Honda Jazz territory. The big long straights with a short wheelbase might make things a little bit interesting.
Next up will be Gavin Feast, Matty Haywood, the Subaru Impreza STI. Another that impressed in Otago.
Yeah, Gav getting to grips and probably catching up on us a little bit quicker than we gave him credit for there. That, of course, the car we've seen Dylan Thompson and Mike Young run in the New Zealand Rally Championship. Slight change of colour there. And Gav actually on a bit of a up on Carter Strang, right on Mark McMillan's pace. So it's a pretty impressive start. It's Matty Haywood calling the notes for Gavin. He was in with Jeff Ward last year, so knows a thing or two about going fast in Subarus in the Rally Challenge. Jeff Ward over in the States will give him a bit of a shout out.
So Ray Casey due through next in the Subaru Legacy.
Might even be an Impreza, that one. Ex-Andy Martin car.
Oh yeah, this is Bruiser. Start list is wrong.
Tools are only as good as the operator's budget.
It's a pretty big tool operating it.
It sounds like that car's on 3 cylinders, potentially.
Does not sound very healthy.
No, it might even be struggling for that. So that's a bit of a disappointing start because you want all the horsepower you can get on this rally. It's Bryn Jones' time at 10:41.0, which is significantly slower. It potentially seemed down on power. I know that they'd had engine issues during the week. It just didn't seem to be pulling perhaps as hard, but we'll see if we can get an update there. I'm waiting for a time of Jack Stokes, but he was looking like he was struggling in the dust of Bryn there.
Ray Wilson?
Yeah, Ray and Ian McKee. Ray always so smooth. He almost looks slow, but the times never suggest it.
Very rarely do we see him involved in an incident too, do we?
Yes. Touch wood. God, if he has a problem today, I'm deferring him straight to you.
Yep, that's on me. You've been doing this rallying a long, long time. A couple couple of great results. Rally New Zealand, first Kiwi home back in the sort of early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
She held an FIA A seat, as we see James McDonald, Josh Edwards. So this is the first of the H6 Imprezas. Setting a reasonable pace too, is James. Around the same times as David Sievers to the first split. Quite important these guys have, of course, the 3-litre naturally aspirated 6-cylinder. Fantastic little cars.
Jay Pittham's due up next. Another those H6 Subarus.
No, that's the 4-cylinder turbo one, budget.
Is it?
Yeah. He's actually on a slightly quicker than Gavin Feast. Gav lost a bit of time late in the stage.
JP Van der Meij's alongside him.
So he's another one that's in and around that Carter Strang, Mark McMillan to the first split. So that's pretty impressive in the older Group A car. See, he's got the sunnies on and he's pulling the Vartanen as well. So these guys are running for the Group A Challenge alongside Andrew Graves in the H6 Imprezas as well. Marcus Van Klink just knocking on the door of the top 10 there. 57.4 seconds off Paddon's time. 3 seconds off Stewie Reid. And fastest of the all-comers just... Oh, no, sorry, Sean Haggerty's the fastest of them. 4.5 seconds up the road. And of course, in those overall results, Paddon 3.3 seconds up on Robbie Stokes. Ben Hunt third fastest, 7.5 seconds off Paddon's pace. Then a bit of a gap, 14.2 seconds back to Jack Hawkswood in fourth, who's just 0.3 of a second up on Zeal Jones. Then Emma Gilmore another 6.8 seconds back. Andrew Graves sitting seventh, the first of the Rally Challenge cars, 41 seconds off that outright pace. Then Sean Haggerty, the first of the all-comers. Mark McMillan second in the challenge, just 0.7 off Haggerty. 12.6 off Graves.
Got just a bit of a gap here, BB. No sign of Charlie Evans.
And that's not a great... Oh, in the NZRC, look at this. Hedgie's ahead of us. So Jack Stokes 16.9 seconds off Dylan Thompson in the first stage. Bryn Jones dropping almost a minute, so we will try and figure out what's going on there. But Charlie had a... stopped at 3.4 Ks. How good's that? Chris Grant, it's almost like he's listening in. Or not how good's that for Charlie, because he had a bit of a disaster of an Otago as well, and was looking to just finish, as we see Paul Cross and Janie Blair. Paul, an ex-world champion in jet boating as well. Makes a pretty good jet boat these days, Kilo Craft boats.
I'm sure he'll be looking forward to that Southern Lights rally.
Yes, he's down towards hometown for him. It's crossing a little bit up on James McDonald, so 1.6 seconds there. 1 second up on James McDonald, so amongst the 8.6s and the like for like. James McDonald recorded a 9:43.5, so 0.9 of a second ahead of Dave Sievers. That's pretty good going. And just under 2 seconds off Carter Strang. Jay Pittham's through on a 9:40.5, so that's an impressive run. And, now we see Jared Parmenter, it's another of the H6s. A fantastic concept that's been really well bought into down the South Island. Basically take a standard 3-litre Subaru Outback motor and transplant it into the older body shell of the Imprezas. Just takes a lot of the running costs out. The turbochargers create a lot of heat, a lot of wear. So we are hearing there might be a bit of a delay in the stage. We'll keep you across that.
So it should be Daniel Haynes, Matt Priest, and the Ford Escort through next.
Yep, and then Lucas Ramsey behind him, and there is Dan.
And will be in special stage 2. Got underway a couple of minutes ago. Geraldine Downs.
And Dan just picking and choosing his events this year with the Mark II Escort. The hot rod with the 2.4 Duratec and the sequential gearbox. Of course, he's the defending Open two-wheel drive champion. As I said, just picking and choosing his events in 2024. A few people.
So it should be Lucas Ramsey, Olivia Robinson, and the Ford Fiesta R2.
Yeah, another one just picking and choosing his events. And there he is. So this is the same spec as the Stokes car. Powers his way up the hill. With the big flick. I know that Mum and Dad are tuning in from various parts of the world. Actually, I think Rambo flies out on Monday to go and contest the Peking to Paris rally with Brent Taylor. Shipped a Mark I Escort BDA over there. And I think 2 or 3 of them heading over from New Zealand. Shane Merland also going to contest that event. There's a couple of names that we might otherwise see around the championship, but great to see them all across the world. So just waiting to hear, I understand car 33, which is the next one through, has stopped in the stage. Not quite sure what the story is, but we will bring you information as soon as we can.
Plenty of spectators out watching. Lovely day for it too. It's getting warmer and warmer. Overnight frost is a thing of the past now. The sun's up. Beautiful day here. Stunning backdrop with the Southern Alps, rolling hills. Been pretty fortunate over the years, haven't we, with weather at this event? Of course, a month earlier this time round, but the forecast was supposed to be as cold as we've seen. It wasn't quite eventuated. So looking forward to seeing Tim Mackesy through shortly in the Ford Fiesta. Still in the old car, unfortunately.
So our understanding at the moment is that car 33 Gareth O'Hara has gone off the road. Sort of. They are all okay. But they are blocking the road. So they've gone off. When I say they've gone off the road, they have not gone off the road. The main thing is they are okay. No medical intervention required. But so that's why we're getting a bit of a delay here, as obviously the other teams will be working to clear the road.
So hearing it's at least a 5-minute delay from a couple of spectators with different vantage point just a little bit further up the road. So yeah, Tim Mackesy, Darren Galbraith, James Worker, all of those NZRC two-wheel drive competitors. Darren, of course, in the Challenge two-wheel drive class, entering, having been with us in the live stream crew at Otago.
Yes, a bit of a shame. It should a couple more of the Fiestas. Tim Mackesy still in the old car with paperwork issues slowing up that new Rally 4 car that he will be seen in at some point this season. I know, great source of frustration.
Well, the expectation, I spoke to him last night, the expectation is he should have it for the Southern Lights Rally next month. There's a little bit of a wait time. They were talking sort of 6 weeks, and he was saying, well and truly, that 6-week period would be completed.
Yeah. How good is it to be returning to the Deep South in Invercargill, the base of that Southern Lights rally, in just 6 weeks' time? And then, of course, we have a bit of a break before we head to the Daybreaker rally in September, then the Bay of Plenty rally in October, and we finish up with
The new look
National
Rally of Whangarei at the end.
Yep, some new stages, some returning stages, quite a change in format. And of course, the final round of not only the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship, but the FIA Asia Pacific Rally Championship, the one-event shootout. So expecting to see a few international entries there too. A bit of a contingent coming down from Indonesia, as we understand it, potentially even as many as 3 former Asia Pacific Rally champions.
Wow. So there we go.
Hayden Paddon setting the pace, 8:37.9. Robbie Stokes just 3.3 seconds off, so he has made his intentions very clear. Ben Hunt, 7.5 seconds behind in third.
Got stage 2 underway. Hayden well and truly into the Geraldine Down stage. Not too far away from posting a time there, I'm guessing.
Yes, so 3 cars have started that stage. It was started at 9:09, so just a couple of minutes behind schedule. So just repeating, we do have a bit of a delay. Gareth O'Hara has had a crash. They are all okay. That's the main thing, but unfortunately that car is blocking the road. So teams working to clear that. It's only 700 metres into the stage, so hopefully reasonably easy to get.
It's not the way they want to end your rally after just a few hundred metres.
No.
Thing is, the crew all okay, no medical assistance required.
And it's quite a tricky little start to the stage. I remember Garrett Thomas had a shunt quite early on a few years back. So we will try and bring you some stage 2 times as soon as we've got them. Car's only 4 minutes in, so that stage... current record at 9 minutes 2, so we're about 5 minutes away.
So hearing that there are some cars touring through the stage now.
Yes. So it's a bit of a... Those cars, of course, will get assessed time, so just waiting to hear whether this stage will competitively restart.
So this is the first of 3 of these stages on the morning loop. Geraldine Downs, which is underway now. And then the Carrick Road, the Kakahu Forest. That should be a really interesting stage. The one that is very clearly different to the other stages. Tight, twisty. Lots of pine needles, I'm told, quite slippery in parts.
Yeah, largely through the main forestry roads. A couple of small tracks. Reports were not as horrific as last year. Last year, lots of ice, but expect it to be a decisive stage in the outcome of this rally. So...
We've got 33 cars through special stage 1. See there on the screen, it's Hayden Paddon, but 3.3 seconds. That's a early warning shot fired by Robbie Stokes and Sarah Brennan. Stokes Motorsport Fiesta. Ben Hunt, 7.5 seconds. Drift to Paddon.
So just looking too, impressive time from Lucas Ramsey. 9 minutes 58.1, so that puts him obviously non-championship, but only 11 seconds off Dylan Thompson. And that's the R2, so the non-turbo car. So we might do a run through the classes. So obviously the overall class we've covered off a wee bit, but Category 2, the NZRC two-wheel drive class, currently led by Dylan Thompson on a 9:47.2. Jack Stokes at 10 minute 4.1. We did see him catch a bit of dust with of Bryn Jones, and we think maybe a bit of a problem for Bryn Jones is 53.8 seconds off Jack Stokes. Dave Strong, the only open two-wheel drive car we've seen through so far, with Willie Hawes behind that incident and yet to post a time. Just waiting to hear if he will get the opportunity to post a time. Neither of our historic cars have been through. Paul Fraser and Mike Cameron. In the Rally Challenge four-wheel drive car, it was got a time through Caleb McDonald, 0.6 of a second faster than Andrew Graves, so that's a big time in the Evo 6, very impressive. Mark McMillan sitting in third, 13.2 seconds off. So we should be not too far off getting another car on the way, car 35, so that'll be Tim Mackesy. Tim and Lauren, and the R2T Fiesta still waiting on that Rally 4 car, as we detailed earlier. Jay Pittman slots into fourth in the older Group A car, so that's a pretty impressive time from him. 22.2 seconds off Caleb McDonald. Then Carter Strang, James McDonald, Dave Sievers, and Gavin Feast. Paul Cross and Brian Green rounding out the 10. Rally Challenge two-wheel drive. I think we were, no cars yet, because the first one we were expecting to see was Darren Galbraith, who
shouldn't be too far away. I understand there are cars
proceeding,
making their way through. I'm not sure whether they're at speed or whether they're just touring through.
And in that Group A challenge, Andrew Graves leading Jay Pittams, James McDonald and Paul Cross. Yet to see a time from Amy Keeley again. She's further down that running order. We're starting to see some split times from Stage 2, so we might just cross over to those. Ben Hunt 3 seconds off Paddon at 9 kilometres. Jack Hawkswood 6.2 seconds off Paddon at 9 kilometres. And Robbie Stokes 4.3 seconds off. Emma Gilmore 14.9 down. So still obviously not quite up to the speed that we might have.
So that looks like Paddon through Special Stage 2.
Yeah, 8 minutes 44.7, so that's a new stage record by my maths, because that is faster than the 9:02.2 that Ben Hunt recorded last year.
So once again, big thanks to our sponsors here on the live stream. Brian Green Property Group, title sponsor for 2024 Championship, as they have been for a very long time now. Cream Insurance, MRF Tyres, Control Tyre, and Omega Rental Cars. So we wait to see first of our cars due to approach us very shortly.
So we are hearing that the remaining cars are touring through the stage, unfortunately, but understandable with the with that blockage. So we might wrap up our coverage here, guys, because cars driving at road speed aren't massively exciting, to be perfectly francis with you. So as Budgie said, a massive thanks to the Brian Green Property Group, MRF Tyres, Cream Insurance, Omega Rental Cars. Great job to the team at Volt TV here. And make sure that you stay tuned across the day. Special Stage 5 around midday. Should really give you a proper time on that. Standby callers.
We'll be back obviously for the afternoon stage, the finale at Levels Raceway. That gets underway at 3:25 this afternoon.
12:20 you can catch the single camera stream. Simon and Carl. But for now, from us, that's all. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage, and we will catch you later on today.